following cells produce insulin? Alpha cells, beta cells, both A and B, none of these. The correct answer is option B. Beta cells produce insulin. Which system of the body controls movement and balance? Nervous system, muscular system, skeletal system, circulatory system. The correct answer is option A. Nervous system of the body controls movement and balance. The memory power of the human brain is found in cerebrum, brain cavity, cerebellum, none of these. The correct answer is option A. The memory power of the human brain is found in cerebrum. Which nerve is responsible for controlling heart rate and blood pressure? Vagus nerve, trigeminal nerve, olfactory nerve, optic nerve. The correct answer is option A. Vagus nerve is responsible for controlling heart rate and blood pressure. Which nerve carries visual information from the eye to the brain? Optic nerve, olfactory nerve, vagus nerve, trigeminal nerve. The correct answer is option A. Optic nerve carries visual information from the eye to the brain. Which muscle is responsible for extending the knee joint? Quadriceps, hamstrings, biceps, triceps. The correct answer is option A. Quadriceps muscle is responsible for extending the knee joint. Which hormone regulates blood pressure? Adrenaline, thyroxine, insulin, aldosterone. The correct answer is option B. Aldosterone hormone regulates blood pressure. Which hormone regulates calcium level in the blood? Parathyroid hormone, thyroxine, adrenaline, insulin. The correct answer is option A. Parathyroid hormone regulates calcium level in the blood. Which part of the brain controls voluntary movements? Cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, limbic system. The correct answer is option A. Cerebrum part of the brain controls voluntary movements. Which bone in the human body is often referred to as the collarbone? Femur, scapula, radius, clavicle. The correct answer is option B. Clavicle bone in the human body is often referred to as the collarbone. Cartilage at the end of long bones is calcified cartilage, fibrous cartilage, hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage. The correct answer is option C. Cartilage at the end of long bones is hyaline cartilage. Which of the following hormones is produced by the kidneys and regulates red blood cell production? Aldosterone, insulin, erythropoietin, thyroxine. The correct answer is option C. Erythropoietin hormones is produced by the kidneys and regulates red blood cell production. Which part of the brain is responsible for regulating basic life-sustaining functions such as breathing and heart rate? Cerebellum, hypothalamus, medulla oblongata, cerebral cortex. The correct answer is option C. Medulla oblongata part of the brain is responsible for regulating basic life-sustaining functions such as breathing and heart rate. Which system of the body regulates body temperature? Nervous system, endocrine system, circulatory system, integumentary system. The correct answer is option D. Integumentary system of the body regulates body temperature. Intercostal muscles are attached with diaphragm, ribs, thigh, abdomen. The correct answer is option B. Intercostal muscles are attached with ribs. Which nerve carries sensory information from the base to the brain? Trigeminal nerve, olfactory nerve, optic nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve. The correct answer is option A. Trigeminal nerve carries sensory information from the base to the brain. Which muscle is responsible for rotating the shoulder joint? Deltoid, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres major. The correct answer is option C. Infraspinatus muscle is responsible for rotating the shoulder joint. Which part of the brain controls coordination and balance? Cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, frontal lobe. The correct answer is option B. Cerebellum part of the brain controls coordination and balance. Which bone is the longest in the human body? Femur, humerus, sternum, cranium. The correct answer is option A. Femur bone is the longest bone in the human body. Which bone is the smallest in the human body? Femur, humerus, sternum, stapes. The correct answer is option B. Stapes bone is the smallest bone in the human body. Which bone is the longest in the upper limb? Humerus, radius, ulna, scapula. The correct answer is option A. Humerus bone is the longest bone in the upper limb. Which bone is the smallest in the upper limb? Humerus, radius, ulna, carpals. The correct answer is option D. Carpal bones is the smallest bone in the upper limb. Which bone is the smallest in the lower limb? Femur, patella, tibia, phalanges. The correct answer is option D. Phalanges bone is the smallest bone in the lower limb. Which nerve carries auditory information from the ear to the brain? Vestibulocochlear nerve, olfactory nerve, optic nerve, trigeminal nerve. The correct answer is option A. Vestibulocochlear nerve carries auditory information from the ear to the brain. Which muscle is responsible for extending the hip joint? Gluteus maximus, hamstring, quadriceps, biceps. The correct answer is option A. Gluteus maximus muscle is responsible for extending the hip joint. Which muscle is responsible for flexing the elbow joint? Bicep, tricep, quadriceps, hamstring. The correct answer is option A. Bicep muscle is responsible for flexing the elbow joint. Which organ is responsible for producing hormones that regulate electrolyte balance? Adrenal gland, thyroid gland, pituitary gland, pancreas. The correct answer is option A. Adrenal gland organ is responsible for producing hormones that regulate electrolyte balance. The membranous labyrinth is located within which part of the inner ear? Cochlea, semicircular canals, vestibule, tympanic cavity. The correct answer is option B. The membranous labyrinth is located within semicircular canals of the inner ear. Which organ is responsible for producing hormones that regulate growth and development? Pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas. The correct answer is option A. Pituitary organ is responsible for producing hormones that regulate growth and development. What is the primary function of the arytenoid cartilage in the larynx? Protection of the vocal cord, production of sound, humidifying inhaled air, articulation with the epiglottis. The correct answer is option B. Production of sound.